On why the 405 was shut down. Here it is.
On the 405, just north of Skirball Center Drive, where they observed a red Mustang on the right shoulder. They pulled up behind the vehicle. They noticed that the airbags were deployed. Once they exited the vehicle, they also observed a male outside of the car. At that point, that male reached into the vehicle, pulled out a pistol, and started shooting at the officers. The officers then returned fire. That's when they shot the suspect. The officers made sure the scene was clear before they went and rendered aid on the suspect until they got relieved by the LA City Fire Department. That suspect was transported to UCLA Medical Hospital, and we don't know his condition at this time. The officers were not injured. The only thing that was damaged was the patrol car took some rounds from the suspect.
Any words exchanged, officer, before the gun fired?
Not to my knowledge. It was. It happened very quickly. As like I said, they got out of the vehicle, and that's when the suspect reached into the car, pulled out a gun, and started shooting at the officers.
So I'm going to ask this politely. I'm not trying to be antagonistic or anything, but why did it take 10 hours to get to this? I mean, not for my sake or my coworkers' sake, but for the sake of all of the people that travel on this freeway. You know, why couldn't we get the information sooner so that people could avoid this?
It's an ongoing investigation, so there's certain details that we can't release right away just because it's an ongoing investigation, so it takes a little bit longer than it would if it was something like a traffic collision or other incident. But when it's an officer-involved shooting, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of investigators that have to do their job before they actually can release any kind of information.
So you're saying, officer, that there was they approached the vehicle and the suspect just opened fire?
Yes. Yes, so they observed that the vehicle was on the right shoulder, stalled out. Well, it was stopped. So they noticed that the airbags were deployed, and that's when they saw the male adult outside of the car. When they were going to do a welfare check, make sure he was okay, that's when he reached into the vehicle, pulled out a gun, and started shooting at the officers.
How many shots were fired?
It's still under investigation. We don't know exactly how many shots were fired. I know the suspect shot a couple rounds towards our officers, and then the officers responded with shooting multiple rounds at the suspect, which they were able to they hit the suspect, and that's where he went down and they stopped shooting.
Would you describe it as a shootout and shooting at each other?
Yes, the suspect pulled out a gun, started shooting at the officers, and that's when the officers shot back.
How do you train for those kinds of scenarios? I mean, I imagine that's every officer's concern or worse nightmare.
Absolutely. It's a training at the academy. We have training at the area offices, so it's an ongoing training for us for situations like that. We have to go to range and qualify, so it's an ongoing training throughout the whole career as a CHP officer. So it's an ongoing thing. Like I said, we do scenarios, sterile environments for situations just like this because every situation is different. The officers didn't know this person was going to pull out a gun until they actually saw the gun and started taking rounds themselves.
So how far apart were they?
Approximately, I don't have that detail because I didn't take the measurements. I was on scene, but again, that's part of the investigation. Pretty much because they saw the vehicle, it was on the right shoulder, and they noticed that the airbags, so they wanted to make sure that the person that was there checked on his welfare, make sure he was okay. So at that point, that's when that suspect reached into the car and started shooting at the officers.
Was the suspect shot?
Yes, the suspect was shot.
He survived.
He's at the hospital, yes.
Quick question. Airbags deploy, which means accident, at least to a layman. Anything to indicate why the car was on the side of the road and he was out?
That's part of the investigation. So at this point, we just know that the airbags were deployed. And as you know, the only time the airbags deploy is when you collide into something. So, but again, that's part of the investigation.
So to be clear, we don't know why the airbags deployed, or was there any damage to the Mustang?
There was damage to the Mustang. We don't know what the exact damage sustained because, like I said, it's still part of the investigation. But in order for the airbags to deploy, you have to hit something pretty hard in order for them to deploy.
Are you able to share anything about the suspect that you learned in the past several hours?
Unfortunately, I do not. Just that he was a male.
37?
Yes.
He's the only one in the vehicle.
That's under still investigation. I didn't get that information yet. But it was one male suspect. like I said, it's an ongoing investigation, so there's a lot of information that are still not being able to disseminate towards to the public just yet.
Is he the registered owner of the car?
I'll get back to you on that. I do not know if he is or not.
Was the car reported stolen? I'm sorry, I apologize. Was the car reported stolen before this?
Not to my knowledge.
Well, CHP there updating the public on why the 405 was shut down for hours, confirming it was an officer-involved shooting, and CHP saying that officer